All right. We always bring the best of the best. We got another special guest. And what's interesting is we were just talking the other day and I was like, it's been too long. I need to interview you. And then all of a sudden memories popped up. And what was it, Brian? It had been 4 years or 5 years since our last interview.
I don't even know. It's been a while.
It was something like that. And it's crazy how fast time passes by. But for me, one of the greatest parts about this profession is when your mentors get to become your friends and you get to learn from each other. So this legend is a legend of legends. He's a 4-time author. If I got that right, because I've read 4 of his books. So if he has a 5th book, he better tell me about that, or I'm going to be like, what's going on? He's probably working on one. Building an Empire is his most known book. If you ever look on Amazon, it's almost always top 10, no matter what new book, no matter what flash in the pan comes out. It just stands the test of time. He's made over $20 million in network marketing, and he has over 400,000 associates. And I think he's one of the world's best recruiters and examples of somebody that just is like consistent, sets a schedule, makes it happen. I even asked him, hey, can we do a podcast on Friday? And he's like, no, I don't work Fridays. I haven't worked Fridays for a long, long time. All right, fine. Let's figure out a day that works. So Brian, we're going to just go through this, man, like rapid fire. As I was starting to write down questions and think of different things, I truly feel like you're one of the best recruiters. And maybe you can tell people what your number is, because if I remember correctly, you used to know or have an idea of how many people you had sponsored. But I'd love to know, and I know there's secret is like a fascinating word, to really know are no secrets, maybe insights to your top tips or strategies for sponsoring and recruiting. Let's hear from the best of the best.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and since we last talked, you can add another $5 million on top of my my career earnings. So things obviously continue to go. But look, I mean, so I've probably recruited about a little over 1,700. I recruited over 1,700 people myself, which to some is a huge number, and to others that are living in the world we're living in today, that are massive social media influencers that have 1 million people that follow them. Certainly there's people that have done bigger numbers, but I put them in a different category because they're not human. They're influencers. They're not one of us. I basically have done mine one at a time, not by social media standards that we know today. So I think I built my business the way my mentors 20 some years ago taught. It's a warm market business, friends, family, neighbors, relatives, and so forth. And then after you've gone through your warm market a few times over, you still circle back to them over time, but then you learn some cold market strategies. How to find people and how to pique their interest. And again, maybe you make them a friend first, and then you make them a prospect for your business. And all that can be done in a very condensed period of time. Whether it's talking to somebody at a gas pump and paying them a compliment and striking up a conversation because they're a captive audience for 2 minutes like you are, or it's talking to somebody at an airport or at a restaurant, or nowadays you could just go on Facebook and just follow your passion. I mean, I'm a big card collector, so the sports cards, baseball, football cards, and stuff like that, and so I can go into sports card collectors groups on Facebook, and there's thousands of them. And I can get in there and I can talk to people passionately about my passion, and it doesn't feel like work. And I can make some new friends. And guess what? In the near future, I will find a way to bring up my business opportunity, because maybe they could use a way to supplement their income to fund being able to buy some of the cards they've got on their wish list. So there's all kinds of ways that you can always be adding people to your list.
Well, right there, you answered a lot of questions without even answering directly. All the time, people are like, I don't want to fake chit chat. He just talked about finding something he's passionate about. So something you can have a real conversation. He'd be interested in talking to these people anyways, regardless if they join his business or not. And I think that's key. And then the second thing I laugh at when people are like, don't you feel guilty that you have a hidden agenda? You mean hidden agenda if it's a win-win and I can help someone have some time freedom and some financial freedom and some incredible products or services? You mean like that kind of hidden agenda? And so it's just the limiting beliefs that many of us go through, right, as we're building this business. So
yeah, and there's also something else to peel back on that. I mean, yes, I understand where they're coming from. If they're just trying to crank through a game of numbers and expose more and more and more people to their business opportunity, then they might feel, I'm proud of them for feeling that sense of not being congruent, because maybe they're trying to manipulate someone to try to get to the opportunity pitch. But I would submit to those people to think about, hey, look, do you care about people? I mean, if you're looking at a prospect and you want to strike up a conversation, how about look at them first as, hey, how about I befriend this person? Maybe this person might be a valuable new friend in my life. So make them a friend first. And then you can, because you have to stop selling, start solving, or stop recruiting, start solving. How are you going to know what somebody's hot buttons are, or the problems in their life that your product or opportunity can solve? How would you know those things if you haven't befriended them and had a conversation to get to know them a little bit first? So I call it a slow down to speed up. Slow down, make a friend, find out about them. And then again, whoever solves the biggest problems for the most people in this world make the most money. You want to learn how to solve somebody's problems? You can't do it unless they told you what their problems are. And they're not going to tell you until they can trust you and they have a conversation flowing with you.
Be a networker first and a network marketer second. And that's what he's talking about. It's like, just be a good human being. Like, people overthink it all the time. And yeah, they may or may not join you. They may help you with something else. They may join you later. They may never join you, but that's why I love this profession, because I always tell everyone I'm a better father, husband, leader, neighbor, person, human being, because of this profession. Because I started and it was like the weaknesses. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, oh, they're so big, right? And it constantly pushes me as we go. So another question I asked is, if I wanted to rank up in the next 30 days, so if someone asks you this, if I wanted to rank up in the next 30 days, what are some of the things that you would say that they should do? I always teach successful people just do the basics better, right? And we forget about those things. So if you were like right now, you had to, you were stuck at a rank and you wanted to rank advance, or you're teaching a team member and you were laying it out for them, what are some of the things that you would lay out for them?
No, first of all, decide. I mean, sometimes people put the cart before the horse. They start talking to themselves or asking the questions, what do I need to do? I would say, well, what is it you're trying to do? You want to hit that rank, whatever X rank is, make the decision right now. I'm getting it done. The word decide sounds like suicide, homicide, pesticide. It means to kill something. So kill the alternative. At the end of this month, I will be at this rank. This is the rank I'm going to go get. And I'm killing the alternative. There is no failure. I'm going to get it done. Okay, now that I've made the decision, now what do I do? Okay, which is what your question is. And that comes down to, what are the fundamentals? You have to put your information in front of how many people. I mean, you know the metrics that it's going to take. At least you know the results that you need for that rank. Then reverse engineer it. So if you've got to do, let's just call it, $3,000 in personal sales volume. I don't know what the rank is, but let's just call it that.
Yeah.
So $3,000 in sales, and let's say you're getting $100 per customer. That's 30 customers. And if that needs to come from you, or if it needs to come from your team, if it's coming all from you, you're going to have to figure out what it's going to take to go out there and make a sale a day. If it has to come from your team, then it's a matter of, okay, how can I run some incentives with my team members to say, hey, whoever can go out and get 3 customers by a certain date will get X, Y, or Z. Could be some kind of a cool reward or inclusion in something or whatever. So again, it comes down to, is it personal production that's going to be driving it, or is going to be also including the efforts of other people? If it's all about you, that you can control the most. But unfortunately, a lot of times people have trouble controlling, or I guess I should say self-discipline. If you need a sale a day, and by the way, I'm not saying that that's hard or easy to do, depending on your business and what value that you've got. I mean, if you've got something that's easy to sell, maybe you can go out and make a sale a day. What does that look like? How many people are you going to need to talk to get them to agree to see some sort of a presentation, a video, a Zoom that you do, whatever? And then how many people that see the presentation are you actually converting and closing? So if you need to get 10 people invited to get 3 to watch, and out of every 3, 1 signs up, now you can just do the math and figure out how many people you need to talk to a day. Break that down and don't spend time with. See, so many people, they're not getting where they want to go immediately. Like if they've got a 30-day journey, a 30-day window, they're going to go out and run it for this rank. And 3 days in, they're not really getting it done. Now they're just recalculating. Just stop overthinking. Art Williams, has a quote. He has written a book about it. It's called "All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough." So give it all you've got. Don't stress. Don't get discouraged. In golf, I golf all the time, and in golf, I could have a par 3 hole, and I wind up getting a 6. That's enough to ruin somebody's day if you let it. But guess what? When you play around a golf, you're playing 18 individual games. Each hole is a new hole. So I get a 6 on a par 3 like I did on Friday. Well, guess what? The next hole, I got a 4 on a 4. So I got a par. I didn't let it wreck me. So don't let a down day where you get a bunch of no's or people were rude to you or something came up and you just got completely sidetracked. Don't let it wreck you. Just go do it all you can do the next day. And if you give it all you've got every single day, you're either going to hit your goal or you're not. But if you don't hit your goal, you did all you could do. Be proud of that. Maybe you set a goal that was too high. Or maybe you just had a month that was not your best. I've had many, many months or many, many days or many, many seasons where I was in a rut. I mean, I've had a complete, my first 10 years, I recruited 10 people a month personally, 10 years straight, 10 a month on average. At least 10. Some months I even had 20. I've had months along the way since then where I had 1 or 2 recruits a month. I was still working pretty focused, not as much, but I've had times where like weeks go by and like nobody's signing up. Nobody. Don't question yourself. You know what you're about. You've got a great company, great product, great comp plan. You already know that. Everybody else in your company's already proved it. So it's a matter of just giving yourself some grace. Know your heart is everything. If you have a heart for helping people to win and to solve problems and make their lives better, time promotes or exposes everybody. Time will promote you. Just keep on at it.
I love that. That's so powerful. And it's interesting. It's the perspective because, you could have Joe Schmo on your team or Sally, and they are saying the exact same thing, doing the same thing. And they reach out to 15 people. No one signs up. Oh, I suck. I'm awful. I can't do this business. Should I quit? Should I not quit? I don't want to say anything. And then they go and do the exact same thing another month. And they send up 5 people. Oh my goodness, I'm on fire. I'm in momentum. I'm crushing this, right? And it's crazy. The exact same thing. Let's just say no increase in skill set, no change in verbiage, nothing can have different results at different times. I got Kobe Bryant right back here. By the way, it's a brand new edition. If you remember the old school calendar, this is the first day. So we're introducing it with you. But I got this Kobe Bryant, my favorite athlete of all time. And I remember when he was during a slump in his last great year before his Achilles got hurt. And he shot something like 3 of 27 from 3-point land. Like his percentage was right around 10%, 11%, 12%, which if he's below 30, that's really bad. And so this is abysmal. And the reporter says to him, Kobe, what are you going to do to get out of your slump? And no one noticed this. There was no report or anything. I was just watching live and saw it. Kobe gives him the little death stare that Kobe gives. And Kobe says, what slump? The ball just hasn't gone in. And I thought, wow, like this dude just got it. And you hear Brian, the legend Carruthers here, and emotionally, he just understands it. Like he's not getting like too high or too low. And I know for me, it was like that at the beginning, too high, too low, too high, too low. And then I got a little better and a little better where my highs and lows weren't as high or as low because I had gained perspective. So when you look at that, I mean, I know sometimes people ask me a question on the spot and I could answer the question like 10 different ways, right? Depending on the day and what I was reading, what I was thinking. But if you were to say why most network marketers fail, what would you say is the reason or are the reasons?
Well, that's a great question. And let me also, by the way, say, after 24 years next week of being in this business full time, same company for 24 years, I still have the highs and lows. I still have times where I feel like nobody can touch me. And I still have times where I feel like, what in the world? I must have lost my touch. I still go through that. The highs,
do they happen? My question would be are they as high or as
that's
low?
What I was going to say. The highs, I don't let myself get all too big willy on myself.
They probably don't happen as often, right? As well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, I will say, as long as I have continued to stay as actively doing what I do,
that's good.
Do come as often. Every day is either a high or a low. It's rarely like exactly spot on pinpoint on the equilibrium. I either have a good day or a bad day. It's really rarely just a no speak day. So, but the, like you said, the highs, I don't let myself get all big on myself, and the lows, I don't, I don't let it go too long. I mean, I've had things that devastated me years ago. I had people that left my team, went to another company, and took a whole bunch of people with them. I mean, that was like a few years to really get over that. And some of them I've actually become friends with again after all the dust settled and just all the feelings subsided and all that. In recent times, when something like that happened, my perspective has allowed me to say, hey, look, it's just going to happen. I could have the most incredible company. We still have the same incredible company. I still have an incredible team and support system, and I'm still the incredible me. All the other stuff is all incredible. It's just that, it just is what it is. No,
that's such great perspective, because I think it just brings the human element of no matter how much better you get, you're still going to have those. You may have less and they may not be as long, but sure. I mean, I remember I woke up, it was probably like 2 months ago, and I said it to my wife. I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything at all. And it lasted for like a couple of days. And I'm like, geez, like, I know there's a lot of people that feel like this often. I don't feel like it as often, but I had to get into action to get myself out of it, right? Because it's like, it's easy to get stuck, but I knew how to respond, receive it, right? Feel it, and then respond and get out of it.
Well, COVID has done that number on almost everybody that I know, in and outside of our industry.
Yep.
I think COVID has caused a lot of people, for various reasons, people being cocooned in their homes and masking up and not being social, and the government sending out free money. I think people have gotten lazier. I think some people got dumber, just being real. And I think that there are a lot of people that are stuck. They had this forced pause in their life, and they started overthinking things like, do I really like what I do? Am I really fulfilled? Do I want to do something different now? And now they're like at a crossroads with like 18 different paths to choose from, and they see their friends making different decisions, and they're trying to. So everybody's second guessing. Everybody got lazy. There's a lot of entitlement that's now rampant all over the place. So a lot of stuff is going on in people's heads. So if you're watching this right now and you've got a little bit of that going on, it's not just you. You don't need to go get a medication from a psychiatrist to get this under control. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't believe in medications, but it would not hurt to talk to somebody who is a health expert, a psychiatrist, because I was joking, but not joking, with the CEO of a network marketing company. I said, you might be spending good money to get an in-house psychiatrist, because you can teach people how to sell, how to recruit, how to market, how to be a team leader and all that. But most people are not educated and trained on how to help people through their mental problems. There's so many that are affecting people right now. So I would simply say, just accept the fact that that it's real. Like, you're not the only one. And then what you just said, Rob, you can't just climb out of the mud. If you're in a mud pit, you're not going to slowly climb out. It's going to make you sink deeper. You got to explode out of it. So I would make a decision that I'm going to get congruent. I'm going to get into a feeling of I'm actually out there kicking butt and taking names. And how do you do that? I like to say that you plan your day the night before. So make a decision like, I'm going to go on a 30-day run, a 7-day run, a 1-day run, or whatever. And then, so let's say that's where you're at right now. You're like, all right, okay, I'm going to make my plans today and tonight. And tomorrow I'm going to go kick butt with this business. Or if you're part-time, you're not going to get a lot done in one day because you might only have an hour. So for the next 7 days, I've got 7 hours spread out over the next 7 days consistently. I'm going to go out there and explode out of the mud. I'm going to dedicate a couple hours every evening, time blocked. Family knows not to bother me. I've got their buy-in. They know why I'm doing it. I've got to get myself in a good headspace. I need to start getting progress and profit coming into the household. So they're giving me my space, and then plan it out. Here's who I'm going to call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You just plan it out and then crush it and give it everything. Drink your energy drink, whatever healthy choice of that you can. Put on some pumping music, whatever gets your blood pumping. Do some jumping jacks, or like Tony Robbins backstage when I've been hanging out with him before. He's got a little trampoline, and just bounce around for a couple minutes, get your blood, and just crush it for 7 days. You explode, you get some results, and now you're like, oh my God, I miss this feeling. You can go recreate it again like that.
That's amazing. It's, again, successful people just do the basics better. And that's why I always say PD can either be personal development or procrastination development. You decide which one it's going to be for you. Brian, where is the best place for people to find? I know you offer free stuff. I know you offer online courses. Sometimes you're going through stuff. I know you got all your books. Where's the best place people can find all of your stuff?
Well, they can go to briancarruthers.com, and all my stuff is there, my blog and different stuff I put out there for everybody to consume and learn from and use and so forth. One thing I would suggest, because if people have asked, if you can pinpoint like one philosophy or methodology in your business for the last 24 years that you've employed that has had the biggest impact. And I learned this from one of my biggest mentors all the way back in the beginning. The whole 2 exposures a day, getting 2 people a day to take a look at your information, getting 2 people to see a presentation a day can make you millions. And most people, they don't get that. So I wrote a little, I don't even know, 8-10 page ebook. Yeah. If you go to briancarruthers.com/ebook, you can just go grab a download of it and read that book. Right? It's in one sitting. It's 10 minute read. You will get convinced why it works, the psychology behind it, why you getting 2 people a day to check out the information, and how that will foster and breed duplication in your organization. Because if you're sitting there going, my team's not doing anything, or they stopped doing things, well, I guarantee you, I know exactly what you did. And one of the main things is that you talked about how much work you were doing. And 99 out of 100 people on your team, or 99% of the people that were on your team, if you don't have the numbers to have 99 out of 100 yet, they're like, I can't devote that kind of time and energy that when I got people on my team once in a while, they're like, I made 50 phone calls today. I'm like, shh, stop talking about that. Your team needs to know that you did 2 calls today, because they can see themselves do it. If they hear you talking about 50 and you're still not getting the results that they want to get, they're like, look how hard they're working and they're not even achieving it. Well, they just started doing 50, okay? They don't know the whole context of that comment. So we've got to make sure that you just keep everybody talking about the same simple thing that 100% of the team members can do. That little ebook will help you to craft the understanding around it and how to teach that to your organization so you truly can get them to duplicate over and over again.
So smart, so simple. I got to ask one last really important question. What's the favorite sports card that you own?
I must say that it's probably not one anybody would expect. It's not the typical baseball, football, or basketball. I was sitting there. Tiger Woods 2001 Upper Deck is where his rookie cards are found, and I was buying boxes after boxes after boxes at like $45, $50 a box. Now they sell for about $100 a quarter. But about a year and a half ago, I was buying a ton of them because I wanted to get a bunch of his rookies and sit on them and as an investment. And I was opening packs in my master bedroom couch, watching TV, and all of a sudden, boom! It was like the lights from heaven shine down on the
jackpot.
It was a Tiger Woods authentic autographed rookie card. It's probably worth maybe about $8,000 or something like that. But it's a random, rare insert in one of the packs, and there's plenty of cards out there that are selling for over $1 million a piece. But this one, I pulled it on my couch in my home, and I love Tiger Woods. He's one of the best athletes of all time. And and by the way, for us that are network marketers, there's so many parallels that we can draw from with regards to any successful athlete or a GOAT of any sport, whether it be Tom Brady, whether it be Tiger Woods. I mean, Tom Brady. I mean, people say, Brian, why don't you retire? You've earned $25 million. You've invested it well. You're worth even more than that. Why? I don't do it for the money. You think Tom Brady's playing football because he spent all his money? He loves what he does so much. It's a part of it. It's just like it draws him in. When you allow yourself to be drawn in by this amazing business model and this amazing environment and culture that we get to be a part of in our network marketing business, when it becomes your calling, my business became my calling. So, look at Tiger Woods. I mean, he's the greatest. He could say it's a tie between him and Jack Nicklaus, but at the end of the day, he lifted up an entire sport worldwide. Everybody on any corner of the globe, they all know who Tiger Woods is. And he could have retired, he's playing again, even though he's limping and almost died in a car crash. He's still playing again. But here's what's really cool. You want to talk about duplication? Go Google Tiger Woods and his son Charlie playing last year in a golf tournament.
So cool to see.
The mannerisms. I mean, Charlie looks like him, talks like him, flicks his ball and his ball marker like him. He does his fist pump like him. I mean, he stares the ball into the hole like him. I mean, look, become a mentor worthy of modeling, and you will find that people will copy you, and you will develop leaders under you, and you will become a legend in this industry.
Wow. Powerful. I love it. Now it's about the legacy. We start out, it's learning, and then eventually, right, we start making our money back. We transition to lifestyle, and eventually you got to have something bigger than the lifestyle, because enough is enough, and more doesn't really affect your lifestyle that much. It's a little more fun and nice and convenient, but you get to the point of diminishing return, and it does become about legacy. It's hard to understand that till you get there. That's okay. We're here to provide and shed perspective on all different journeys for each and every single one of you. So, Brian, I appreciate you for coming on so late notice, my man, and making time to do this. We'll do it again. It won't be 4 or 5 years from now. It will be before then. Sounds good, man. I appreciate all you're doing to help so many people out there. I mean, it's great to be friends with people that you just know their heart's in the right place. They want to see people win. And that's why, Rob, you've been elevated. That's why people, get around you, and they pay good money to get around you, because that is good money, and that's wise investment. You have to invest in your personal development. You have to invest in your. There's no stock, there's no baseball card, there's no home, there's no investment that is greater than investing in you. So anybody that's following Rob and gets one of his courses, goes to one of his masterminds, anything that you can do to get around the right information being delivered by somebody of character and integrity and wants to see you win, it's really smart of you. Well, thank you. Coming from you, I really, really appreciate that. And we'll just keep elevating this industry and making it happen.